Good morning. Good morning, you guys. I'm gonna wait a few seconds while I'm having my matcha green tea. And I promised you to share with you a story. It's gonna be a morning inspirational story. Let me show you the ocean. Okay, so we are live from a magical vortex of Laguna Beach. And you guys, it literally looks like New Zealand, you know? When it's sunny, it looks like it's New Zealand. It's like this magical place with the mountains and the ocean. It has a perfect balance of energy of the masculine from the mountains and the ocean from the feminine. So I wanted to share with you guys the story, how this manifestation came into being. It was a really exquisite process of deep patience and childlike faith and bold risk taking. You know, those were the ingredients in the cake. And I'll share with you guys the step by step how it happened. And maybe you are in a place where you feel not so aligned, you know, and our environment is everything. It was a big breakthrough for me to realize that environment always wins. No matter how strong you are internally, you basically will battle the environment. And that's what I found when I used to live in the desert. I used to live in Las Vegas for 8 years, and I was there for a spiritual boot camp. You know, I got my deepest training on a soul level, on a mental level, on just endurance and resilience level. Yeah, if you think about some of the biggest devotee to spiritual path, where do they go for self-realization? They go to the desert, and they spend like 40 days in the desert, right? I spent 8 years in the desert. So you guys, I felt that I wanted to live somewhere more aligned, where my soul would come to life. Yeah, Ram says, tell me about it. I feel like that in India. Yeah. So it's a really good point, Ram. I'll share. So basically, if you guys feel like you either feeling the completion of the chapter. Hi, Katerina. Hi, beauty. You either feel the completion of the chapter where you at, right? And you feel like the next something is next is unfolding. Holly, welcome. That's how I felt for 2 years, you guys, for 2 years. And it took me a lot of patience just to be patient. And one of the things that I was doing, I was noticing myself, whether I judge where I was. That's the biggest block to manifestation of your next place. If you find any kind of inner judgments of your present moment, you know, like what you have right now, if it's not perfect, right? You don't need to like pretend like it's perfect, but there's inner acceptance, you know, like when your heart flowers in acceptance, and you realize when you have inner resistance to what is, you only keep yourself there longer. That was a big light bulb moment for me. And instead of judging where I was, I decided to bless where I was, you know? And it was like beautiful inner surrender process. I would say, okay, I'm in the desert. My soul wants to be by the water. Let me, every day that I'm in the desert, let me bless the desert. And I remember walking in the city or driving, I would just bless the city, you know, just send light to my environment and just say, thank you. Thank you for providing everything for me. Thank you for being here for me. Yes, inner acceptance and patience is the foundation. That's the step number one. Thank you, Katerina. It's, you know, you're going from having an intention to step into a different environment, right? Having that pure intention and beginning to appreciate what you have now. Really, really important. Then the step number 2, you guys, is really becoming very clear. The process of visualization, for some of you, this may not be anything new, but I'm just sharing with you guys what worked for me. What I was doing, I was visualizing one specific experience. I would play beautiful music, go into the state of open heart and peace and gratitude. And I would imagine myself seeing this one thing, one consistent vision. And it was me sitting in front of the windows that had ocean views, ocean horizon, you know? And I just kept seeing like this would be my perfect writing space where I could create and I could nurture my soul. And I kept seeing not a bunch of different images, you guys. I kept seeing just one specific one, right? And I would focus on the feeling. Like, how would I feel waking up and seeing the ocean? How would I feel writing my next book and looking at the water, right? And I kept accepting my resistance from my logical mind, because the logical mind was not on board, you guys. Ravi, welcome. The logical mind was not on board. The logical mind kept saying, this is so stupid. You know what I mean? Sitting here, imagining this new reality. And I just kept acknowledging the logic. I'm like, thank you, logic. Let's listen to the heart. So when you creating and manifesting something really big for your logical mind, just acknowledge the resistant voices. You know, don't fight them, just acknowledge them. And keep coming back to the heart, because the wisdom of the heart is illogical. And the heart knows how to lead you where you really belong. The mind doesn't. The mind only knows what you experienced in the past. So the brain is going to compare to what you experienced in the past. And if you're creating something brand new, of course the mind's not going to be on board. So just accept it, you know? Just accept it. Just say, oh, okay, here's the mind that's trying to protect me. So the first stage is acceptance and embracing of the present moment and blessing your reality, right? Second, just create like a Polaroid image, one snapshot of your manifestation already happened and you being in it, experiencing it as reality. So it's like making the dream a present act, right? Making the dream a present act. The third step is actually, you guys, a really, really bold step. Begin moving towards your dream reality. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, you guys. Begin moving towards your dream reality. How I did it, I start getting rid of 80% of what I owned, of my stuff in the desert in Las Vegas. I just start giving things away and I start preparing for my move, you guys, by faith alone. By faith alone. I was feeling that chapter was coming my way and I just decided to prepare the way, you know? And I just like a child with pure faith. And I remember, you know, having one garage sale after another and giving things away because I wanted to start fresh. And I knew that, you know, the more I give away, the more I just let this accumulation go, the much lighter and the easier my transition will be. So that's the stage. Who is keeping track of the steps, you guys? I think it's Carolina. So the stage number 4 is letting that accumulation grip release, you know, from you, letting go of these things. And I was using the process of there's this beautiful book, the art of tidying up. So you basically look through your house and you just take one item at a time and you ask yourself, does this bring me joy? You know, does this bring me joy? So I get rid of a lot, you guys, 80%. Beautiful detox on all levels. So Deborah says, I've done that. Moved from Iowa to Texas. Do you feel lighter? It's and every item, you guys, has a energy. Every single item. And especially gifts, you know, like I was doing this process where I would go through the gifts that people gave me, right? And a lot of times you just keep the gifts that you don't even use because you feel a sense of obligation to keep it, right? But you can honor the person for expressing their love to you. And if you're not using the item, just pass it on to somebody who will, right? So So then after that, so we had acceptance of the present moment, blessing your reality, right? Then spending every day fueling your vision through the energy of your heart and your inner state, right? Imagining with pure faith, then preparing and paving the way, you know, acting on pure faith that what you calling in, it's already coming towards you. So you're just getting ready, right? And continually surrendering every night, you guys, I would just give up the vision to Spirit. And I would say, Spirit, I have no idea how it's going to come, but I'm just going to trust and I'm going to surrender. Then, writing about your vision. I was so specific, you guys. I kept writing, thank you, Spirit, for bringing me my dream home where the hummingbirds come every morning to my garden. I was that specific, you know? It wasn't the colors, the rooms, where it's gonna be. It's more like, what are the key experiences that you will have when you live in your dream environment? Is it the hummingbirds that come to your place? Is it the raccoons that visit your front yard? Right? So what is it? You become playful in your experience. So you give your subconscious mind the right instructions of what to bring you, how to match that vision, right? And I kept saying, I kept seeing my home is filled with quiet and solitude. I have incredible neighbors, you know, who are aligned spiritually with me. So you become more and more precise. And then eventually, you guys, I will never forget. It was the March of last year. So it's gonna be a year since I've lived here, a year. So the March of previous year, of 2016, I wrote in my journal a prayer of a complete let go of this dream. And I still have it, you guys. And I actually encourage you to have a journal for your manifestations. That's right, Francisca. You says whatever is not useful, essentially beautiful. That's right, exactly. We're letting go of that heaviness. Yeah, because whatever we're not using, it actually blocks our manifestation, you guys. Because nothing can come into your life if you don't have a much void, if you don't have much emptiness. You have nothing new. Nothing new can enter if you hold it all to the old, right? So I remember writing in my manifestation journal. I encourage you to have a journal just for your manifestation so you can track your process of creation. And every time you create something new, you will discover a new element. You will discover a new element about how you uniquely create and magnetize something into being. I remember I wrote it to you guys, and it was so beautiful to revisit it just a few weeks ago. And I wrote it and I said, Spirit, I surrender this dream completely. I give up. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to create this. I'm just gonna surrender and I'm gonna let go. And that was like the deepest surrender, you guys. The deepest surrender. Because sometimes you can force surrender, you know? It feels like you're surrendering, but you're really not. You're still trying to push it forward. You're still trying to orchestrate your webs of how to draw it to yourself. The deepest surrender is, it's like this inner relief, you know, like you're dropping this heavy load that you're dragging on your shoulders. You stop helping the divine. You say, divine, I just trust you so completely. I know it's gonna come to me. And literally 4 months later, my dream home came to me, you guys. It came to me so beautifully and so effortlessly and so perfectly. And I'm gonna share with you one more part of it. When your manifestation will begin coming towards you, you will most likely will just have enough for the first few steps. So when I moved here, I was still learning to trust my gifts more and more and more and more. You know, I have been on this path of entrepreneurship for about, I would say, you guys, 18 months, almost 2 years of being completely self-sufficient. Like my gifts fully support me. Before, it was a slow transition. You know, I would still have different freelancing jobs to really support me. And for the last 2 years, it's a full sovereignty experience. But what I wanted to share, and the reason why I'm saying this, you guys, oftentimes your dream will come towards you and you will have just enough for the next few steps. You're not gonna have enough for the full year, okay? So don't wait for that. You will be tested to take that leap of faith. So I got rid of all my stuff in Vegas, brought the essential, and I literally had enough for, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 months, you know, to pay rent here, to pay all of my expenses. And I just took a leap of faith. And you guys, you know what's so beautiful when you live in the right environment? Abundance is a default. I came here and my business began to bloom because I was living in alignment with my soul, in alignment with the environment. I was constantly, daily operation from the place of joy, bliss, congruency, ease, divine feminine. I wasn't battling my environment. So all this energy that I kept expanding in the desert, battling my environment, trying to balance myself, I returned it back and I began channeling that energy into creation, into service, into leadership, into bold action. You see how it works? Really, really powerful, you guys, really powerful. But the main message, you know, a lot of times we don't take a leap of faith because we assume that the path will be just blazed over for us and we'll just, you know, like walk on the red carpet. Maybe it's only me. Maybe you guys don't expect that. I sometimes catch myself in those entitlement thoughts. And then life humbles you and you say, oh my goodness, I got lost in the expectation train. So I just encourage you, if you've done all of these steps, you know, that if you continue surrendering, then your soul, your higher self, will begin giving you these soul crumbs. Soul crumbs, I call them, right? Thank you, Joyce. That's really powerful. Yeah, so your soul will begin to give you omens and signs. Have you guys read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho? I love that book so much. You remember that part when the alchemist was in the desert and he fell in love with the woman from the desert, Fatima? And when he was talking to her, she said, Dear boy, I am the woman of the desert and I've learned to recognize the omens of the desert. So I know what the patience feels like. And you guys, I remember that because this is the gift that Las Vegas gave me. The biggest gift is the biggest training from the desert, recognizing of the omens that the universe gives you, right? Recognizing the shifts in the environment, recognizing when to move, when to stay patiently, right? The desert is a powerful teacher. So this is what I mean by the soul crumbs. You know, you recognize the omens from your environment. That's why I always encourage you to watch what kind of animals show up on the path, right? Is it a pelican? Is it a hawk? Is it an eagle? Is it a raccoon? And you start paying attention to the signs. Animals will begin to speak to you. This is the urban shamanism in nature, in reality. You become attuned to how the weather speaks to you, how the animals speak to you. Oh, Jody says, Las Vegas misses you so much. Thank you, dear. I will always bless Las Vegas. I will always bless that city because it made me very, very strong and deeply attuned to the omens of the desert. Yeah, I will always bless that city. That city showed up for me so many times where I had nothing, you guys. I came to Las Vegas right after my divorce and I had to start my life from scratch, from zero. And the desert has been there for me many, many times. So I will always bless it. But now it's the ocean chapter. So you guys, I hope my share really helped you in a way that if you feel that wherever you're at, you're not really happy, your environment, you're not thriving, I encourage you to dream and I encourage you begin creating your dream from the inside out, trusting the omens and sculpting your dream from the inside out, and continuously surrender the dream to the spirit, trusting that it's gonna come to you when you least expect it, when you fully surrendered, right? And you just begin taking steps. begin preparing yourself for that transition. And you don't even have to say, you don't have to talk about it. Keep that biggest dream quietly in your heart. I rarely kept talking about it with others. I just kept that dream quietly in my heart, and I whispered it to my spirit, and I would just say, thank you so much for, making me strong and making me patient. And I knew that the right home would come. And the final thing I want to share with you guys, when that beautiful dream home came to me, my landlord is the most incredible person. She's an artist. She's like 83 years old, so wise, so hip, so evolved, and it's just incredible. Like I'm having the sense of community where I live, and beautiful neighbors, and a lot of just space and incredible views. All of that came to me, you guys, at the right time. And what I didn't know, you guys, is that my landlord was calling in the perfect tenant. 4 months she would sage my apartment using sage, you guys, okay? How crazy is that? Calling in the right soul to join her sanctuary. And I was doing the same work on my end. So huge lesson, you guys. Every time you are launching an intention, somewhere in the universe, somebody else launching an intention that is a match to your intention. And how fast that match happens all depends on your inner attitude, on your inner allowing, on your faith like a child. Trust that. So it took me 2 years to create this, to allow this manifestation, right? You guys, it is a great story, right? It doesn't have to take you 2 years, you guys, because we are in accelerated times of manifestation. Whatever it took me 2 years, now it's taking me 2 months. You see how fast we're living in accelerated manifestation times. That's why I always encourage you to let go what doesn't serve. Let go what doesn't serve, you guys. Clear of old conditioning, right? And yes, Katerina says, whatever you seek is seeking you. That's exactly it, darlings. It's exactly it. And you know what a beautiful moment when I told my landlord, I told her about, that I prayed and I called it in, and when she told me that, like, we had that sweet moment of recognition. Like, miracles happen like that. So powerful. And what I'm here to testify, my darlings, that your environment is everything. When you are happy, when you wake up and, I'm walking with my bare feet, because I received the transmission from the earth, and it's so powerful, you guys. If you want to Google the Schumann resonance, oh my goodness, my mom just joined. She doesn't understand English, but she just watches me. She's so cute. You guys, my mom has her own YouTube channel. She just always surprises me. Like, I never expect, I don't know what to expect from that woman, She loves knitting, and she basically did her own YouTube channel, just organized, and she's doing videos, teaches people how to knit. What? Without asking my help on a tech site, nothing. She's like, I launched a YouTube channel. It's like, mother, that is amazing. So, darlings, about Schumann resonance, and I'll let you go. Schumann resonance, you can Google that. When people talk about law of attraction, why do you guys think some people manifest like badasses and some people manifest a bunch of nothing? Because the Schumann resonance, it's a frequency that our planet, our Mother Earth, naturally vibrates. The more closer you are to that frequency, the more in alignment you are with the law of attraction, with the natural manifestation flow. right? Really, really powerful. That's why when we are living in the concrete jungle, there is so many competing frequencies, darlings. So many competing frequencies that your signal get lost. If you live in a concrete jungle, just make it a priority. Every day you find the tree. Every day you take your shoes off and you feel the earth with your bare feet. So you consciously tune in to the heartbeat of the earth, right? Heartbeat of the earth. And then you launch your intentions. When you aligned with the frequency of the planet, your intentions will be launched so much more powerfully. Yeah, you guys, so the moment I moved to the ocean, like my business began to thrive, like really, really thrive. I am happy, everything just comes, you know. Doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. Oh my God, you guys, this year I was put through so many initiations on the leadership path. Wow. Sometimes it felt like my booty was like on fire, like on smoke. You know what I mean? Deep, deep tests. And at the same time, I feel like I can overcome it, and I can receive deep initiation because the environment supports me, you know? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, because a lot of you wanted to hear this manifestation story, and it's literally this is one of the biggest manifestation, and I broke it down. You know, the more aligned you are with the heartbeat of the earth, the more powerful manifester you will become. Because naturally, you guys, what happens when you aligned with the frequency of the planet, you will desire whatever your intention you're gonna launch. It's all gonna be for the benefit of the whole. You go less from the personal desires to, I'm calling this in because I desire to be of a greater service to the planet. And then your intention becomes so powerful, because you're not asking for yourself alone. You're asking for the benefit of the whole collective. Because when you are aligned and when you are happy, you emanate that frequency, you guys, and everybody benefits around you. I love you. Let's make it an amazing day today, you guys. I love you very, very much. And continue to dream. Continue to fuel your dreams with passion and faith and love. And thank you for spending this time with me. I love you guys.